Welcome to, I think this is number 29 with Real Talks and the M&T series. The Wounded Warrior and and his Aspien wife widow. That's me. Today I am posting in description a video from Mental Healness. I think my last video, number 28. I said healing healness, and that was wrong. Yay me and names. Mental Healness by Lee Hemick. I think I know his name's Lee something, which is a channel Mark would watch, and between him and Raw Motivations, um, helped him understand why he did what he did. And we took those videos and we would have conversations with his two psychologists about them. And I hate using the word like someone is a narcissist or someone is an addict. Someone has issues. You know, um, I just don't like really labeling people, but it's more about self-discovery and understanding. Um, and I like what Lee says in this video, because he says, he started researching it, helped him to understand why he did what he did. And he could be outside of himself, and he'd see himself doing things. And that lines up with what Mark said to me. I can't say what he was thinking, you know, but he would say, I don't know why I do the things I do. I don't know why I do that. I don't want to hurt you. I love you. I'm not trying to hurt you. Um, he was so concerned with me leaving and hurting him that promise, he convinced himself that I was doing what he was doing. I mean, in all of his relationships before, um, he had never been faithful. And I think that's why he did tell us, me in therapy and stuff, things like, and we talked, of course, later by ourselves, not just in therapy, but he said he'd be 7 or 8 years old playing with his friends. And I've said this in previous videos that with his cousin, or, as young as about that age, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. And if his cousin friend wanted to play with somebody else or, do something that Mark would feel hurt, and then he would instantly start plotting revenge. From what I've gathered from his life, that never changed. And Lee also talks in there that it's caused by a lot of it. A lot of, we're wounded, right? And childhood trauma. And he did indeed have that. And that would be another time and place for issues. But he had some severe wounds inside of him, and he couldn't take criticism. I mean, even if it wasn't criticism, he just thought it was. For me, he would say things like, because Mark didn't follow Jesus, he was like self-reliant. I'm strong, I'm a badass, I'm going to take care of myself. He didn't trust God to take care of him. And quite often, a lot of us who were raised in hypocritical situations, and we saw the adults in our lives proclaiming Jesus but not acting it out. So anyway, he didn't trust Jesus, and he didn't trust God. And he would literally tell me, I mean, he wanted me with him 24/7. And, I was a mom, I have children, and, we try to do normal family things, but he would see things as an insult or as a rejection. Um, and the gift of hospice, it kind of like gave Mark that gift of desperation, where he needed God. He wasn't going to beat death. I I promise he somehow thought he was going to beat death. He even said at one point he was doing some really insane stuff, and he's like, well, if I keep on the move, death can't find me. Like, hon, do you know how? Mm, no, death finds everybody. But anyway, so it's not, I'm an autistic, and that explains so much. And yes, Mark was diagnosed by psychologists too, the military one and the other one. And the one psychologist he'd gone to for quite a while and did no good, and the same with the military one. And it was amazing because Mark wouldn't be, he was afraid to be. That fear of rejection, um, open and honest and transparent. And once he was, he discovered, oh my gosh, he's like, you know, everything opened up to him as far as understanding. So we just have to be honest with our mistakes. When we do wrong, you admit it. You ask for forgiveness and you move on. It's not but you have to confront. And watching Lee this morning just explained to me why Mark did all the videos, or he wanted to do the videos. Like, let's do the videos, let's talk. And he wanted me to do it with him, of course. And that's why Mark's urn is here with me, because I'll say to my kids, what was it that Mark always wanted? To always be with you. Yep, so he is. But anyway, watch it in the description. What was else that I wanted to say about it? I can't remember. Yeah, it's not a judgment. It's just an explanation, and you have to be, and that's what the 12 steps. Um, you have to be relentlessly honest. I mean, it just, you have to heal. And it's not a judgment. Again, it's not a judgment. Nobody was saying or doing these things with Mark. I wasn't, to be mean. I mean, you have to be honest to move forward. And if you think you can hide something or lie about it, you can't. It just always, Bible tells us that what is done in the darkness will be brought to light. Oh my gosh, that sun feels good. Anyway, watch in the description box below. And the one thing about Mark, I didn't ever see him being grandiose, like, ooh, I'm better than anybody, because I feel like, from my point of view, his issue was, I've been hurt. I've been through hell and back. I've been done a raw deal. And he felt like he had to fight, and then of course, being in the military and obeying orders and having friends killed and then getting hurt himself. And then once he got out, just like a fish out of water, left to flop around, trying to breathe, not knowing who you were or anything, and not being given respect and honor for what he had done. And I have to always remember to tell myself that this Mark's affair with Miss D, gotta stop saying her name, happened because they told Mark, they told him, and I was told too, you guys got to get yourself together, I was just destroyed because I couldn't understand why Mark wouldn't stop saying all the things he did and everything. And it was coming from a place of being wounded. He didn't hate me, he didn't trust me, and I always felt that I was being made to pay for what somebody else had done. Bingo, I was, but it wasn't until hospice, and that's just sad. And that's what Mark wanted to be. Don't make it take dying to change. God gave Mark everything he wanted. I mean, he had a wife that adored him, and and two more sons, and a stepdaughter that, we liked him. God gave him the house he wanted. Literally just everything he wanted. And it was true. Lee also says you can give somebody like this exactly what they say they want, and they're not happy. They're never happy. And I did that with Mark. I was going to heal this man. You know, I fought him to love him. But dang it, I was going to heal him. And that's one of my Aspie things. True is true. You know, and right is right. And I mean, shoot, I've done a lot of stupid things, bad things too. You know, I mean, Mark and I shouldn't have lived together um, before his divorce. I mean, in all honesty, I did try to leave him, but you know, he tracked me down and convinced. I don't know. I just left him, and that was wrong. We shouldn't have lived together. Um, you know, and I've paid for that. And I've asked for forgiveness. That's just an example. And LOL, living life out loud. You know. So, and the other thing is Lee doesn't credit God a lot, at least in this video. And the only one thing that you can really, really do is pray for somebody. Pray, 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 because and put them in God's hands. I tried desperately to heal my husband, and I knew that he was wounded. Oh my gosh! I mean, deeper than just the military, and he was, and yeah, you know. So these people do with the narcissistic traits. You know, there was it's self-protection, and he did, and he got in this relationship, which, trust me, he got in it and didn't want to be, and he knew he'd screwed up, and he knew if he told me he'd lost me, and which just made everything worse. And then he wasn't honest about his addiction issues or his extreme usage issues, and you know, oh, what a tangled web we weave. When at first we practiced to deceive, and that wasn't Mark's intention. You know, he was trying to make himself feel better. And yeah. So anyway, watch the video. And again, it's mental illness. So just a little about that. You know, and all the videos that the ones that are still on here and the ones that I went through and we erased because I don't know. We'd received such harsh blowback um, from certain members of Mark's biological family. And anyway, watch the video. Be blessed. Be healed. Talk later.